Hey, this is Ash. We're going to do another landing page review. All right, so this landing page was from a video ad on YouTube. I'm not going to show you the screenshot because it's pretty much looks like this. Um, so I'm just going to scroll through the page and then we're going to review it pretty much line by line. And I'll give you my commentary as usual. All right, so here's the page. We're at the top. Scrolling down, this is a video. She's speaking to the camera, which is nice.
Have you been told you should write a book? Maybe you've even started writing, but you're struggling to get it done, or
Okay, we got a video, and then we get some copy here, and then we got a call to action. Um, this goes right to basically an application. Talk about that when we go through the page. So this is just, I'll just give you another overview of the application, ask you a bunch of questions, but we'll review it more closely. Alrighty, let's go back. Okay, so we're the video, got a call to action, got a testimonial, the name of the process, got some benefits, or really not even benefits. This is what you're going to be doing. And then you got another testimonial. I guess these are proof elements, testimonials, uh, um, basically, the speaker and her background. And that's it. That's the page. So this page mostly relies on the video. Now, here's my whole feeling on the video. When you have only a video, I mean, it works in a lot of industries. If you're doing like a VSL, it works pretty well. But you have to have really good, compelling copy. And that takes very involved copywriting. I mean, actually, copywriters gets paid a lot of money to write VSLs, video sales letters, and it's just a video, and they got the hooks and they got everything right there. Um, I've watched this video. There's some really good points in it, and it's only 8 minutes, so it's not terribly long. But I think a lot of the points she's making in here, which I'll discuss, should be on the page. I think the page just kind of misses a lot of good details. I know it's probably just maybe designed to um, showcase the testimonials. All right, so let's go to the top. Okay, so we came from the ad. It was just a video ad. Didn't say much except for doing a launch a book and things like that. Okay, so I am gonna put on my glasses because I gotta look at this a little more carefully. So, okay, so we got some branding here. Book launchers, very good, looks professional. It says, for subject matter experts, entrepreneurs, and professionals who want to write a book to grow their business and their brand only. Okay, I'm not sure. I guess the only refers to these people, subject matter experts, entrepreneurs. Um, okay, that's fine. That's great. You want to call out people, and then I don't remember what the YouTube ad said, but that's basically kind of what you want to do on a YouTube ad, you know, and she probably said that. Okay, so let's go to the headline. Finally, discover how to, or actually, let's just go to this. Uh, Finally, discover how you can write a top quality book that is set up to sell, guaranteed, and grow your brand in business using the no boring books process to write and launch your book in the next 12 months or sooner with as little as 2 to 5 hours a week of your time. Okay, so there's a lot of stuff packed in there. Um, it's not horrible. I mean, the finally is actually works in this case. There's a lot of people who say finally something something something, and it's good when people are searching for something and they're frustrated with something. They're like, you know doing all this stuff, and in this case it works because there's a lot of people who dabbled with the idea. I mean, there's a statistic that says 80% of the people, just general people, want to write a book, and they have it. And so, actually, to give this a little more context, I actually have written a couple books. and self-published them and put them on Amazon, and and sold numerous copies. Not to the level that they're promising here, but then again, I didn't do a program. So I am going to review this in that somewhat in that context, and also as a copywriter. Okay, so like I said, a lot of people want to write a book, and but they don't know how to get started. They don't have the motivation. They're not really sure if um, what's what's the benefit, because everybody will say, oh yeah, you can write a book, but no one's going to read it or no one's going to buy it, and a lot of those people are right. So so people are kind of frustrated, and so this is I like this. So then it says, look, discover how. A lot of people say, learn how to, or whatever. So it says, discover how you can write a top quality book. Um, I would, my whole feeling is top quality. I don't think it's necessary. I think a lot of people who actually are in that 80% who want to write a book, I think they believe they're going to write a top quality book. Um, but they want a book that sells. They want to, so they're not, I don't think they're really deliberating whether it's going to be top quality or not. They're like, well, I'll write a top quality, I mean, so I don't think, like, nobody wants a top quality book. They want a book that sells, brings them money, or it, helps in launching or, marketing their business. So you can leave that out. I mean, because I'm looking at this headline and it's just huge. It's very wordy, huge. And remember, the headline, you need to get people into the copy, right? So let's look at that from that standpoint. Does it get us into the copy? Discover how you can write a top quality book that is set up to sell, guaranteed, and grow your brand and business using the no boring books process to write and launch your book in the next 12 months or sooner with as little as 12 hours of it. I mean, this is like packing in so much stuff in there that, there's really, I'm not really sure, I guess it arouses some curiosity as to what you're doing. But I'll tell you, if you kind of scroll down, you don't really see anything but testimonials, and you're like, well, you're probably not going to tell me. Yeah, I may have discovered it, or maybe you're telling me to discover it, but I haven't seen any. So let's just look at the headline. Okay, we can already say we can take out top quality because I don't think anybody cares about that. I would say set up to sell. I would say that that could be a top seller. That could be a top seller, or bestseller. It could be a bestseller, or like set up to sell. It's like, well, you just stick it on Amazon. You just set it up to sell. Now, and then, guaranteed, and they could live by that. I mean, they could literally take you on as a client, and then, package it, put it on Amazon, and then you could say to them, hey, you said this thing was set up to sell. And they could say, you're right. We put it on Amazon. It was set up to sell. And we guarantee that. So this is meaningless. Set up to sell. You want to say bestseller, probably bestseller, because that's the language most people are familiar with, right? You got like Amazon bestsellers, or you could say a top seller. Okay. Grow your brand and business. I would say I would just pick one of those. I would say, grow your brand, or I would say grow your business. I mean, not that they're not identical. I mean, a lot of people say exactly the same things oftentimes, but I would pick one. I'm just trying to reduce this headline so it's not unnecessary words. I'm not against headlines that have a lot of words. I'm against headlines that have redundant words. So, and then using the no boring books process. Now, I'm a big proponent of talking about the mechanism. What is the mechanism of how you're going to do this? And so I'm talking about their process. I'm not sure this does it for me though. You know, it just no boring books. I think most people think they're gonna write a great book. I mean, I think the vast majority of people, in that 80% of the people who want to write a book, think they're gonna write a really, really good book. And that's why so many people do it. That's why people self-publish, they write book. I don't think anybody writes a book thinking it's shitty, right? So the no boring books process is kind of lame, to be honest with you, because nobody is sitting around thinking they're writing a boring book. They think they're writing an awesome, incredible, awesome book. And then this is why people get rejected from publishers, because people go, well, I'm writing a really awesome book, so I'm gonna, submit this to a publisher. I don't think anybody says, you know, I'm going to write a boring book and I'm going to try to get it published, or I'm going to go through the process of writing a boring book. So I think this just doesn't. I think they should have came up with some other idea, like the bestseller process, or the, maybe the quick process, or something along those lines. Um, but the no boring process just doesn't work. Because I just for all the reasons I said, nobody's sitting there thinking I'm writing a boring book. Okay, so we got that. Don't I would come up with something else. I would say, some kind of maybe explaining the process, because no boring doesn't really explain the process. It's I would say that the 2 hour week, the 2 hour a week process or something. Okay, and then it says process to write and launch your book in the next 12 months or sooner. Um, I'm always like, these things, like, or sooner. I mean, I know that's like, you don't want to be tied to this, or you don't want people to think that, like, or sooner. I would, but it just adds extra words. Um, no one's gonna hold you to that. I mean, in the video, she actually says 9 months. Um, and so I would just say 9 months. If they follow you, if your process is good, then make a promise and say, this, like, it's just added words. Okay. Okay. So with as little as 2 to 5 hours a week of your time. Well, 2 to 5 hours kind of implies, or 2 to 5 hours a week applies of your time. So you could probably leave that up. With a little, in a little as 2 to 5 hours a week. Period. Okay. Now this part I love the best, because if anybody reads this and they're a writer and they want to write a book, they would probably leave the page right away, because this is very faulty writing. So let's look at it. Best of all, our marketing focused writing and launching process works without being a good writer, without having a social media following, and without any expertise in the book publishing process. Now, did you catch that? It says our marketing focused writing, which probably should have a dash there, but anyway, our marketing focused writing and launching process works without being a good writer. That it should say without you being a good writer. This makes it sound like they're not a good writer. It just makes I'm like, oh, so you're not a good writer, and you've already demonstrated that, because you forgot a word in there is you, the word that needs to be pointed out. Without you being a good writer, without having a social, I would emphasize, without you being a good writer, without you having a social media following, and without any expertise in the book publishing process. I would, and this is almost kind of meaningless, because I think people, I don't think they're really thinking that. Like, I need to be an expert in the book publishing process. Okay, okay, so our marketing focus, right? Okay, process works. I mean, I wouldn't hire you to do this process if I was an expert in the book publishing process. Now, obviously, now you, yeah, being a good writer it could be a qualifier. In fact, in the video, she says exactly that. That and we'll get into that more. That you need to have a good idea, probably need to be a good writer, blah blah blah, and then without having a social media following, yes, because you're probably like, I want to develop a social media following, so the book's gonna help me do that. But this is just added crap that you don't need because nobody's going to be like, oh, I'm going to hire them if I'm already an expert in the book publishing process. Okay, now here's one of the most important things in this on this entire page that really doesn't get emphasized enough. Granted, it's in red, but and then another thing about this is such a long, like wordy, kind of wide sentence. Keep it small, keep it focused, keep it tight. All right. It's like so our marketing focus writing and launching process. Okay. So okay. And if you follow our process, okay. And if you follow our process and your book doesn't sell 500 copies within 90 days of launch, you will receive nearly $10,000 in marketing services to crush all your marketing goals. Okay, when I first read this, I was like, wow, that's super impressive for a number of reasons. Number one, I kind of glossed over the 90 days of launch. In fact, I really didn't even read the headline all that carefully. And I was like, oh wow, so 90 days of launch. To me, I just like interpreted that, oh, I'm gonna whip this out in 3 months. But as you read, and also this talks about 12 months. So that's neither here nor there. Okay. You'll receive nearly $10,000 in marketing service to crush all your bookmarks. Again, that sounds really good, but when you drill down to it, if it almost seems like, so if they're going to give you $10,000 worth of marketing service, it makes it seem like that's what it's going to cost to sell 500 copies, right? Because if they're saying if you don't get up to 500 copies, we're going to throw in $10,000 worth of marketing services to sell 500 copies. And so they're basically saying that's how much it costs in marketing services to sell 500 copies. Well, shit, what is that? I don't know, $200. Was that $200 a book? I mean, so if you're carefully reading this, like I am, I mean, I think most people are just probably going to gloss over it like I did the first time. It's not horrible, but you got to be careful about what you say, right? Because now the implication is it's going to cost you $10,000 to get up to the level of 500 copies. That's basically what it means. So I would I would say we'll pay for all marketing services, um, to crush da 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 da. Because at some point you're gonna have to pay for the marketing services, right? You know that. I mean, first, this is a coaching program. You're gonna have to pay for marketing. They're probably gonna tell you some probably good ways, some free ways and stuff that's gonna cost you money. But um, if they have to put up $10,000 to sell 500 copies, then something's up. All right, I just hit that. Okay, so let's get to the video. So the video is about 8 minutes long. Exactly 8 minutes long. It's a pretty good video. She kind of outlines the process. What I think needs to be done in the video, and we'll see in the page, is just not really talking about the pain points and talking about how many people write books and they don't go anywhere, and emphasizing that their books actually go somewhere. Because you want to kind of dissuade people from publishing their own book, right? Um, and also talk about the process of and what's at, really what's at stake. Look, if you don't write your book and you don't launch your book, your business is going to be stagnant. And it really doesn't emphasize that. It's kind of a soft sell, to be honest with you, and it just doesn't really it's not driving home. And actually in the video she says, I can't believe she says this, but she says they're very picky about who they choose, and they only pick 5% of the people that that apply to them. And so there's nothing here that makes me want to with put enter into something where the rejection rate is 95%, right? And we looked at the application. So let's look at it again. So once you read all this page, if for some reason you're grabbed by it and it's convincing, this is all the information that you got to put up. What kind of book? Okay. What is your book about? I mean, I, we only work with nonfiction buyer folks at this time. Okay, so if you see fiction, then I guess you're out. Okay, have you started writing your book yet? Okay, that's interesting. I mean, this isn't the most arduous thing to fill out, but it is, disqualifying people, which is fine. I mean, I guess they want to not have a bunch of nudnuks, just filling out the form. But here's the thing. Oh yeah, and I want to talk about this, and I'm going to talk about this right now. This is the kind of thing that you might. I mean, this is the kind of thing that people used or still do today. Is almost try to make, not really making a sale at this time, but you wanna you are technically getting a sale because if you're filling out a application to get on a call, then you're going to close a call. I think it would be better to have a lead magnet and then just get a bunch of leads, and then you can sift them out. Then I mean, now, like, you're paying for a lot of clicks, right? And so for all the people who are in the maybe column, you have no way of getting to them again. So if you're going to be rejecting that many people, 95% of the people, you're going to be wasting a lot of money on ads. I can guarantee you. Okay. So I don't want to go too much into the detail because you can't see it. And but my suggestion for a video like this is that, and she makes some good points, is to put them into the page. I mean, the rest of the page basically is testimonials, which kind of makes sense because you can't put the testimonials technically in the video, or it would be very hard to do so. I mean, I get the feeling that this is probably like the first ad launch they've done because they have not felt the pain of spending a lot of money and getting nobody to call. Because I mean, there's so many, book publishing, businesses like this, or however you get your book published. And the people who who are really thinking about this enough to fill out your application probably already looked at a bunch of others. And there's nothing here that, says that you're different and that this is, a guaranteed. I mean, you do have this $10,000 marketing. This thing, as I said in the beginning, needs to be emphasized a lot more throughout the copy. It's written small. Granted, it's in red, but it's written small that it's like, don't pay attention to this. We don't really mean this. Anytime there's something written small, you almost like you don't want people to read it, and you kind of don't mean it. Okay. So, and then it says, I have watched the video, want the support to write, publish, and promote a no boring books that is guaranteed to sell. All right. Check mark. I have a book idea. I have to check. I don't know who did this. I mean, who laid this out, but it's like it's maybe it should be check mark, check mark, check mark. I want to know how this guaranteed marketing focused book publishers can save me time and energy writing a top quality book. that's yeah, actually I like that. That's pretty good. Um, I would probably put some of that into here. I'd be like, I want to know how this works or something. Um, Schedule your book positioning call. Okay, see this terminology was not used anywhere else. Like positioning your book is is probably a little bit different, than marketing your like some people will see marketing your book is putting it out there, get everybody to know. Positioning book is a lot of it is like coming up with the right title, coming up with the right angle, who your competitors are, all this other stuff, but it was not mentioned at all anywhere on this page, not in the video. So the CTA needs to match what you're saying here, along the lines. Okay. On this call, we will review your book idea alongside your goals. We'll provide guidance about your next best step. And if we know we can help you, uh, and if we know we can help you, how we can help you write, publish a book, etc. I'll tell you, I don't know how these copywriters get hired. I mean, these sentences, and it's not even just on this page. I mean, look at all the videos I create, on pages. They're just like these long-winded sentences. You got to be short. Boom, boom, boom. Get to the point. Get to the point. Chop it up. You know, on this call, I would have this, um, dot dot dot. On this call, we will review your book idea. Boom. We'll discuss your goals. Boom. We'll provide guidance on your next step. Boom. And if we know we can help you, right? See, I don't understand this whole thing. And if we can forget about if we know we can help you. If we can help you write, publish, and promote a book that is set up to sell, um, we'd love to have you on board or something like that. I don't know. This is so cumbersome. It's just not even funny. Okay. Martin Holland. Okay, so, and here's another thing. I'm going to talk about the graphics now because this is really a huge missed opportunity. Michael Holland, financial business consultant, added 6 figures to his annual consulting income after his book, The Profit Problem, launch. Okay. Number one, probably should be in italics. It's just the format is really at, really not great. And then there's a graphic of a video. I'm like sitting there like this is a video. I mean, granted, it's a live button and you get the icon, but the here again, it's like a video. It almost looks like what I was seeing up here when the page loaded, and there's nothing. So it's kind of irritating. But here's the missed opportunity. Why don't you? Okay, first of all, maybe get a better picture of it. I mean, this guy doesn't have a photo from his book. I mean, every photo. I mean, every book I've ever seen, they've got author photo. Can't get that. Can't get that photo. And then what about the book cover of his book? Um, like I don't like. This is why 80% of the people want to write a book, is because they want to see their name on a book, right? So show that, and then I'm gonna discuss all the other places they don't do it since we're on this topic. Again, this guy wrote a book. I mean, here's the thing. It is in our video. It's in our in the video. I don't know if I can find it, but it's all right. So here's the video showing some books that they've worked on. Again, they have the graphics. I mean, they have, obviously they've worked with people. So they really, and so this guy right here, um, he wrote, I mean, this is the guy down here. Why don't you just show the book cover in the book graphic? Um, really doesn't make any sense. Like you have to understand, not everybody can watch the video, right? What if they're like sitting on their phone in like a doctor's office, or what if they just for some reason they can't watch the video. They probably don't want to watch the video. Okay, this is where people, marketers, miss the boat on why you write a sales page. That goes all, goes down. When you write a sales page, somebody's gonna come here and they're gonna scroll and they're like, okay, uh-huh, uh-huh, okay, is there anything interesting? I don't know. Maybe there's something interesting, maybe not. I don't really see anything interesting. Now, you may be saying to yourself, why see these videos and it's just a video? Yeah, that's a video sales letter. And they come across as giving you information. They work great in the health industry. It almost seems like, hey, it almost seems like a YouTube video. I'm giving you information about you know, why you have a rash on the back of your neck. And if you have a rash on the back of your neck, this is what you need to do. Blah blah blah. They offer the solution. The prop. First, they tell you about the problem. You're like, oh yeah, I got a rash on my back of my neck. Then they offer the solution. And oh yeah, get some vinegar and then garlic from the garden, and then ask your neighbor for cinnamon or blah blah blah. And then they tell you, well, don't do all that. Just take our pill. That's a video sales letter, and that's where the videos work because it comes across as being very instructive. Um, Clearly, this is not the case. She's trying to sell her services, so you need to, if this was a VSL, she would say, these are the 5 steps. These are the 5 steps to launching a book, and then basically the whole video is how to launch your book, and then it could be a half-hour video. And people could be sitting there taking their notes. They go, oh my God, this woman is giving away the secret to launching a book. And then that would be a VSL. But this clearly is not. She's just selling her services, which is fine. There's nothing against that. But you need to have it in the page as well because people are going to be, they're just not hooked into it. There's no hook. There's no draw. There's like, oh, okay, this woman selling her services, and I don't want to sit through 8 minutes of selling her services. But like I said, if you have a VSL and you're giving something instructive and you got a bunch of hooks along the way and you go, well, you got to, I'm on step 2, but watch out for step 4, you know, or don't make this mistake when you're doing step number 4, don't make this crucial mistake. And then meanwhile, you're only on step 2. So people are like, okay, I got to sit there and watch it. That's how you get them. That's how you get them hooked in. But it's clearly she's just selling her services. Nothing wrong with it. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it, but you have to put it on the page as well. That I'm just showing you the difference between a VSL, video sales letter, which is just a video, and a lot of times if you go to some of those, they'll even have an option to read the transcript. But there's a very long video, so you're probably, a lot of places don't want to do that, and so for some businesses, it's not even that effective. Anyway, so it's a huge missed opportunity of showing a picture, a professional. This means nothing to me. I don't know. I mean, it's a YouTube video. I mean, who isn't on YouTube? I mean, they got babies get their own YouTube channel. I mean, like, big deal. The big deal is, this guy published a book with his name, with the name of the profit problem, and then his name, Martin Holland, and a nice looking book cover. That's what people want. That's what they want to see. And also, I don't even know I don't even know what the percentages of books on Amazon, but there's got to be like, I don't know, 20-25% are just vanity projects. They know, people already know they're not going to make any money. They're just like, I just want to see my book published. And most people are like that even before Amazon. Like they used to do like vanity kind of publishing where they're like, we'll print the book up for you and you have your cover and you can give it to your family and friends, but it's not going to a bookstore. We can guarantee you that. And so they'll do that, and people did that. So you got to appeal to that emotion. You got to appeal to that emotion. This is like they're trying to be logical, like the boring. Nobody like that's just it doesn't make any sense. No boring, like nobody cares. Like it's just. I've already explained it in the beginning, but it's like that's just not a hook. That's not something that is going to grab somebody. The no boring books process. How about the no writing process? There you got something. How about the no thinking process? How about the no, I don't even have to do anything and I crap a book out my ass process? Then you got me. Then I'm interested. But the nobody cares if their book is boring. They want to know if it sells. They don't care, and they're not even going to be aware if it's boring or not. Okay, moving on. Oh boy, the marketing. More of this marketing focused approach. Blah, 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 blah. I mean, I'm not saying it's wrong. It's just, I don't know. I just, it's fine. It's okay. So our marketing focused approach sets you and your book up from day one. Okay, marketing integrated into the process. We start, okay, so this is good. This is kind of telling you the process, but it really doesn't, it doesn't really revert back to the boring part. Like marketing your book doesn't say anything how it's not going to be boring. Okay, so let's just read this because I don't see how it becomes part of the no boring book. We start work on your author brand and book positioning in the first 2 weeks of starting your book. Okay, so that's kind of exciting. I would probably rephrase. I mean, this sounds like corporate jargon. I mean, it just sounds like I would say, in you know, positioning in 2 weeks. Within 2 weeks, start positioning your book. I mean, like, oh my God, things are, wheels are turning, things are happening. I get to do something in 2 weeks. I don't have to wait 12 months, you know? That's what people don't want. They don't want, like, I'm slogging along, slogging along, slogging along, and then boom, 12 months, boom, everything happens. And that's what you're saying. Um, the no boring, it should be no boredom because I mean, the boring, it sounds like it's a boring book, but you should say the no bore, like, or the no sitting around doing nothing process. All right, something. All right, we start we start work on your author brand and positioning in the first 2 weeks of starting your book. Okay, like I said, that should be like the header right up here. In 2 weeks, position your book. Start positioning your book in 2 weeks of starting. Boom, done. Now you got my attention. You're like, oh my God. Because I'll be honest with you, if I wasn't reviewing this would be like, oh, I just want to stick my finger so far down my throat and just hurl right all over the screen. Okay. Our writing coaches, writers, and editors all keep this positioning in mind as we work with you to develop your manuscript. Um, okay, not bad, not bad. Keep. I don't know if they keep you in mind. I would say keep this positioning. Okay, that's fine. When your book is in pre-launch, I would have to say a lot of this is kind of like jargon. Like it's like I think this is unnecessary details like pre-launch, post-launch. It's like I just want my book to sell. What is a launch? I don't even know what that like. I don't care. Like you got to remember. You got to think of it like a big high level process promise, right? Now I know they're probably staying away from like your book's gonna be a bestseller, but there's a bigger promise out there that is that where you don't have to kind of bore me with the pre-launch post. I mean, it's publishing jargon, right? We're gonna pre-launch your book, and was it in pre-launch or post-launch? I don't know. I don't know. It's before selling and after selling. I mean, what are you talking about? You know, so when your book is in pre-launch and post-launch, our team of marketing professionals will pitch you to media, conferences, and event hosts, podcasts. Bookstores love it, and we even run book sales and Amazon ads for your book on a monthly book basis. Okay. Um, Obviously, they're gonna run your ad. Probably not gonna pay for them, obviously. Okay, 2 to 5 hours a week. That sounds like okay. Okay, you are the CEO of your book project. So you do need to be involved, but our professional publishing team does as much of the work as the previous can, so you can stay focused on your business. Okay. Um, kind of kind of explaining the process. Um, not bad, not bad. Very important right here. You keep all the rights. You keep all royalties and rights. I would just keep it like, yeah. I mean, this is good. Our process and standards are as high or higher than a traditional book. Okay. But you remain in full control and keep all the royalties from the sale of your book. Yeah, I guess what I would say, not that, I mean, not that anybody would be deliberating between you guys and a traditional bookseller, but I think I would emphasize how important that is because what most people hear is you don't make any money on your book, right? Well, that's because you only get like 10% of the royalties. I mean, the book publisher is getting the lion's share of the money. Um, and then you still probably have to do all the promotion and stuff. And so I would just emphasize, like, versus a traditional publisher, you keep 100% of the royalties, or whatever, obviously if Amazon takes some royalties or whatever, or you keep, I would say, the lion's share of the royalties. Versus, traditional publishers, you know, we flip that process on its head, or something along those lines. Okay. Robert Bell, accountant and author, landed a TED Global Ideas Talk after his book blown off the. This should be like had been out for a year. I don't know if I don't know. I don't know if I don't even know how important. I mean, it's definitely a distractor. It's like, oh, it's a year. Gee, I don't know. That's going to take a long time. Um, that's where they people say the devil's in the details. That's where like you don't want that in the headline. The headline should say Robert Bell landed a TED Talk deal, and then down here maybe that's the detail. Again, a screenshot of a video. It's like I don't care. Show me the book cover with his name on it, and then the name of the book. Okay, what was the name of the book? Blow the lid off. I want to see the book cover with his name, because that's what people want to see. They want to see a book cover with a really cool design, with their name on it and their title. Boom. That's like the marquee on the movies, right? That's what people want to see. This is pointless because I can't even see any of this. Like, I don't even. I mean, this is so. I mean, this is what gets me. It's like I don't know what it cost them. Obviously, hopefully, he didn't spend. Literally, I'm not even joking. I hope he didn't spend more than like $27 putting together this page, both copy and design. But you're going to spend a lot of money on ads. Ads aren't cheap. People click on ads. If you arouse enough curiosity, people are going to click on it. That's the whole point. You want people to click on your ad, and forget about like saying, oh, only for so and so, and if it's not for you, don't click on this ad. You're still going to get a bunch of clicks, and you're probably still going to end up paying money for the ad anyway, just through exposure and stuff like that. Then your rate will go up, and there's a whole complex matrix to that. Like you just like YouTube's not going to show your ad to 10 million people and only 2 people click. I mean that's not their business model. So you pay for the exposure, and so you want to have a high click ratio, and then then the people click, you want to have a high converting ratio here. I mean, it just gets me. Do people understand? And I guess they learn they do understand, and they learn the painful lesson after they do something right like this. And yeah. So anyway, I want to wrap this up. I mean, I think nice bio here, right here. This is good. Good, good. Disclaimer. Sold. Oh, here's a disclaimer. Oh wow, I should read that. Hold on. I'm gonna come back and read this. All right, so I read this guarantee, this disclaimer on the guarantee. It sounds pretty good. It's pretty detailed. My only issue is like the last sentence. It says, "You can't do nothing to support," and then it says HTE, book success and expect books to sell. That is not this guarantee. Okay. Um, I guess I would just phrase it differently, but you know, it's a disclaimer, so I'm not gonna get crazy about it. Just trip me up. It says you can't do nothing. You can't do nothing to support the book. I would say you can't sit around and do nothing. I just the whole you can't do nothing kind of messed me up. Okay, so that's my whole review of this, and what I want to stress to people is that you are going to spend money. Like if this was like a page off their website, and then the people who are on the website just clicked over and go, well, what's over here? I wouldn't. I don't care. Like whatever, do whatever you want. It doesn't matter. Or it came, maybe the page came up maybe in a free search, which never do anymore, unless you're Forbes, CNN. All the no longer is your website can be found by a Google search if you're an independent entity and if you're not like a Fortune 500 company. Um, anyway, so so putting those aside, that somebody's already on your website or they found you on a free search, if you're paying for ads on YouTube, this was a YouTube ad. If you're paying for ads like on paying for ads for like YouTube or Facebook or some other social media platform, and you're sending people to a sales page, do not do this. This is substandard work, and you're not going to convert a lot of people, and you're gonna spend a lot of money on clicks. And even if you try to qualify people on your ad, you're still paying for exposure and stuff like that. And so now, to her credit, this video is actually pretty good. It tells you, gives you the kind of the problems, like, you know, unless you have an authority of writing a book, you're gonna have trouble promoting your business, promoting your brand, and doing da 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 da. But it just relies too much on the video, and you don't want to rely too much on the video because people. And another thing about a video, even if I always present the example of what if somebody's on their phone and you know they uh, they can't watch the video, or they can't watch the video for some reason, or they're at an office or something, and they just can't watch the video, and then they can't play the sound, or some other reason they're not allowed. They're unable to watch the video. Um, then you obviously you want to have the copy on the page. But what if that's not that's not even an issue? They can play the video all they want. The reason why you want to have copy on, copy throughout, long copy, and then basically making your whole argument, making your whole pitch throughout the thing, is people can skip around. Like, see right here, I can read this and go, oh, write a top quality book. That sounds interesting. I don't want to read the rest of this crap, but all right, what's going on down here? Oh, this guy. Oh, these are really interesting testimonials. Oh, 2 to 5 hours a week. Oh, that sounds interesting. Um, oh, wow, who's this woman? Oh, okay, that's interesting. And then I can go, oh, wait, what's this part? Oh, corporate jargon, good. And then, oh, I get to keep all my royalties. People skip around. They go, oh, and then what's this about? And then what's this thing? And they don't read. The mistake that people make when they go, well, no one's going to read all that from top to bottom. Yeah, you're right. They're not going to read all that. They're not going to go, it's not a novel. But a video, you're expecting people to watch it from the beginning to end. And like I said before, if you have a very well written like video sales letter that's instructional and then a sale at the end, then you can do it. But if you're just trying to sell your services and talk about the features and benefits, people are gonna want to like skip around. They're gonna be like, oh, what's this about? Oh, what's this about? And like I said, that just bears repeating. If it was an instructional video and says, I'm gonna show you the 5 steps to getting published, guaranteed. Uh, Take out your pencil, write this down, and then maybe it's like a 30-minute video, and you got all these hooks to keep you involved. Fine, That's great. And maybe you don't need any other copy. Maybe you wouldn't want any other copy because you want to make it seem like, hey, I'm doing you a favor. I'm giving you an instructional video. That's not the case. You're trying to get somebody to sign up for their call, which is very, very hard to get people to sign up for a call. And that's one of the things I touched upon earlier. I think they would have done a better job if they made this some kind of a lead magnet, where they just ask for maybe name, just get people who are generally interested in writing a book and just email the heck out of them, and then do this qualifier, because you're going to be because if you're only take and then she said they only take 5%. So imagine if you ran a business. Imagine if you sold a product, right? It's hard enough to get people to convert. I mean, you're already talking. Imagine if you sold a product and your conversion rate was, let's just say, is 5% for just for math purposes, which is a really good conversion. You're selling, I don't know, hats, knives, maybe your coaching program, and then out of those 5% that convert, that say, hey, yeah, let's do, I'm going to fill out the form, and then you need 95% of those people who said, no way, I don't want your business. I don't want your business. Get away from me. I mean, you're now you're down to like nothing, and that 5% is generous. It's usually like 2%, and so it just doesn't make sense. Anyway, that's my funnel review. I don't want to make this too long, so thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you next time.